Right now, in this exact moment, there's a version of you who never makes excuses, never hits snooze, and never wastes another day. That person isn't a fantasy, they're one decision away. Today, we're closing that gap forever. Hey warriors, at this very moment, there exists an improved version of you somewhere within your consciousness. This version wakes up without repeatedly hitting the snooze button. This person actually follows through on the commitments they make to themselves. They don't squander hours endlessly scrolling when work demands attention. They engage in difficult conversations rather than dodging them. You've encountered this version previously. Usually during evening hours when planning the next day, promising yourself this time will be different. Then morning arrives, the alarm sounds, and that improved version remains trapped in your thoughts while the familiar you resumes control. I'm not here to induce guilt. I'm here to demonstrate how to genuinely bridge that divide. You're already transforming every single day, whether you acknowledge it or not. Your physical body is continuously rebuilding itself. Your mind processes fresh information constantly. Your circumstances keep evolving. Transformation is occurring. The real question is whether you're steering it or simply allowing it to happen passively. The genuine question isn't whether you'll be different 12 months from now. You absolutely will be. The question is whether you'll be different in ways that genuinely matter to you. Becoming your optimal self has zero connection to achieving perfection. It's not about accumulating accomplishments or appearing successful while experiencing internal emptiness. It's about recognizing the distance between your current identity and your potential identity, then deciding that distance deserves to be crossed. Seeds don't wait for ideal weather conditions. They don't invest months in planning. They simply push through the soil even in complete darkness, trusting something fundamental within that whispers, grow. You possess that same internal force, that identical drive to reach towards something greater. The journey won't unfold as you anticipate. Some mornings you'll experience tremendous power. Other mornings you'll barely manage to leave your bed. You'll have moments reminding you why you began and moments making you want to surrender. But here's what's significant: everyone who has ever transformed their existence felt precisely what you're experiencing now. Identical doubts, identical fears, identical internal voice declaring, perhaps this isn't meant for you. What distinguished them wasn't innate talent or fortunate circumstances. It was initiating action before feeling prepared. You're not damaged. You're not falling behind. You're not running short on time. You're positioned at the threshold of something meaningful, and your optimal self gets constructed starting with whatever actions you take in the upcoming minutes. If this message resonates with you, hit that like button. Leave a comment. Share what's occupying your thoughts. Subscribe because we're creating a community for individuals serious about transformation. And watch this completely. The statement that revolutionizes everything for you might appear in a section you nearly skip. Let the world recognize you're finished operating small. Type this phrase, I choose growth. Look at your current position without deceiving yourself. You cannot repair what you refuse to acknowledge is damaged. That's the reality nobody wants to receive, but it's the one that genuinely liberates you. Right now, wherever you're positioned in life, proud of it, embarrassed by it, confused about it, that represents your starting position, not your conclusion, simply where you commence. Here's something that sounds contradictory, but it's accurate. When you accept yourself exactly as you are, that's precisely when genuine change becomes possible. You cannot despise yourself into improvement. That merely keeps you rotating in circles, depleted, and advancing nowhere. The authentic path forward initiates with examining yourself honestly and declaring, this is my current position. Now what? So what do you genuinely observe when examining your existence? Not the version you present to others, not the narrative you've persuaded yourself of. What's genuinely present? Perhaps it's commitments you violated to yourself repeatedly. Perhaps it's time you perceive as squandered. Perhaps it's relationships that collapsed or objectives that appear more distant now than when you initiated. When you observe all that, your brain immediately wants to avert its gaze. Wants to assign blame to circumstances or other individuals. Wants to construct walls of justifications. That's normal, but it's also what maintains your stagnation. Accepting your current position doesn't signify you're surrendering. You can acknowledge you're physically unfit without determining that's your permanent state. You can accept your errors without permitting them to define your identity. Acceptance simply means you're finished pretending, finished concealing from yourself, prepared to work with genuine reality instead of what you wish represented reality. Consider being disoriented in wilderness. If you refuse to acknowledge you're lost, you'll simply wander in circles, insisting you know your direction. But the instant you stop and declare, "I'm lost and need to determine where I am," everything transforms. Now you can search for landmarks, formulate a genuine plan, move towards somewhere instead of simply moving. Your present reality isn't attacking you. It's informing you, revealing what requires attention. Yes, that's uncomfortable. But that discomfort is insignificant compared to investing another 5 years deceiving yourself about where you genuinely stand. You don't reside here permanently. Acceptance is a moment of clarity, not a permanent sentence. You examine honestly where you are so you can finally begin moving toward where you want to exist. Honesty generates freedom. Admitting, "I don't have this solved," possesses genuine power because pretending drains massive energy. Concealing from yourself is exhausting. But truth provides solid ground, something genuine to push against. Epictetus grasped this when he stated, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." You cannot alter where you are right now. That's already established. But you possess absolute authority over what you do next. That's where your freedom exists, not in denying reality, but in responding to it with intention. When you stop fleeing from reality, something unexpected occurs. The shame releases its hold. The fear becomes less paralyzing because you're not consuming all your energy maintaining an illusion anymore. That energy becomes available for genuine change. Examine your bank account, your relationships, your health, your daily habits, how you allocate your time. Don't filter it. Don't justify it. Simply look. Because until you can examine your existence without flinching, without excuses, without blame, you're not prepared to change it. The individuals who genuinely transform their lives aren't those who had it easy. They're those who got brutally honest with themselves. They stopped telling comfortable lies and began facing uncomfortable truths. That honesty became the foundation for everything they constructed. Take a breath and examine your life with compassionate honesty. Not to judge yourself, not to spiral, but to see clearly. This is your raw material, what you have to work with. And from this honest place, you can finally begin building something that endures. Truth liberates you. Declare this now, "I see myself clearly." Stop battling yourself over everything. Right now, inside your head, there's a war occurring. It's been continuing so long, you don't even notice it anymore. One voice declares, "Wake up early and exercise." Another responds, "You're too exhausted." One declares, "Take the risk." Another lists every way it could fail. And caught in the middle is the authentic you, exhausted from being your own biggest obstacle. Here's the truth. You don't have energy to fight every internal battle. You simply don't. And if you attempt it, you'll be so depleted, you can't fight the battles that genuinely matter. You need to get strategic. Determine which conflicts with yourself deserve attention and which are simply your mind generating drama to keep you comfortable. What does this look like practically? It means you stop attempting to repair every aspect of your existence simultaneously. Stop criticizing yourself for not having everything perfect while simply trying to make it through the week. Examine all the ways you're fighting yourself and ask, is this battle helping me develop or simply wearing me down? Some battles deserve fighting. When your alarm sounds and you committed to those quiet morning hours that'll transform your trajectory, that resistance deserves pushing through. When you need that difficult conversation you've been avoiding, that fear deserves facing. When you're close to a breakthrough and only doubt stands in your way, that barrier deserves breaking. These forge character and build strength. But then there are the other battles. The ones that simply exhaust you. The battle to be perfect everywhere. The battle to control how others perceive you. The battle to never make errors. The battle to undo the past or predict the future. The battle against your own humanity, against needing rest, making errors, having limitations. These aren't noble struggles. They're simply your ego and fear keeping you stuck. Consider the mental space you waste on pointless conflicts. Replaying conversations from years ago, analyzing what you should have said differently as if thinking about it will alter the past. Worrying about things that probably won't occur. Beating yourself up for not being further along even though you're making progress. All that energy fighting battles you cannot win leaves you too tired to fight the ones you can. Marcus Aurelius discovered something profound. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Read that again. The battle isn't with reality. It's with how you're interpreting reality. And that interpretation is something you control completely. Your best self isn't someone who wins every internal argument. It's someone who recognizes which battles matter and which are simply noise. Someone who can watch a thought that doesn't serve them and let it pass without engaging. So how do you know which battles deserve energy? Get honest about outcomes. When you're in an internal struggle, pause and ask, if I win this fight with myself, will I genuinely be better or just tired? If winning means you're more capable, more aligned with your values, engage fully. But if it just means your ego feels safer or your comfort zone stays intact, walk away. That's not a battle. That's resistance in disguise. This is how you reclaim massive energy. You become selective. Stop treating every negative thought like an emergency. Begin recognizing which thoughts are useful information and which are simply noise. The person you're becoming doesn't need to win every argument with themselves. They just need to win the battles that align with their direction. Everything else is your mind attempting to keep you busy so you don't genuinely change, build habits that match who you're attempting to become. Between who you are and who you want to be exists a gap. You sense it when you look in the mirror, check your bank account, in those quiet moments alone with your thoughts. That gap isn't judgment. It's simply distance. And the only thing that crosses it is small actions repeated until they're automatic. Here's what changes everything. You don't rise to the level of your objectives. You fall to the level of your systems. Your best self isn't created in moments of inspiration. It's created Tuesday morning when you're tired and don't feel motivated, but you do it anyway because you built a system that doesn't need you to feel motivated. Habits operate in silence. They simply show up day after day, slowly building the person you're becoming, so gradually you barely notice until suddenly the results are impossible to ignore. Every habit is a vote for the type of person you're becoming. At the conclusion of each day, you can count those votes and see which version of you is winning. Examine what you're voting for with your daily choices. Are you voting for someone who respects their body or treats it like it's disposable? Someone whose word means something or whose promises are meaningless? Someone consistent or someone with endless excuses? Every choice casts a vote. Every action is a statement about identity. Those votes accumulate into your reality. The beautiful and challenging thing about habits is they don't care about your feelings. They don't wait for motivation. They don't need perfect conditions or the right mood. They just need repetition. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. But habits run regardless of weather, mood, or circumstances. And when you repeat something enough, you don't just do it anymore, you become it. This is where most individuals sabotage themselves. They wake up one Wednesday and decide to revolutionize everything starting tomorrow. Wake at 5 in the morning, meditate, work out intensely, eat perfectly, be productive, achieve enlightenment by the weekend. By Friday, they're back to old patterns, convinced change isn't possible. But transformation doesn't work like that. Change is almost invisible, so incremental it feels like nothing's happening until one day you look back and everything's different. Epictetus cut through all the confusion with this simple truth: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. That's it. No overthinking, no waiting for perfect conditions. Define who you want to become, then build the habits that person would have. Everything else is simply noise and excuses. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You need one habit, one small thing that honors who you're becoming. Master it. Let it become automatic, then add another. Build slowly. Stack carefully. Start embarrassingly small. If you haven't read in years, don't commit to an hour daily. Read one page. If you've been sedentary, don't sign up for a marathon. Walk around the block. If your diet's a mess, don't try to eat perfectly tomorrow. Drink one more glass of water today than yesterday. The size doesn't matter at first. What matters is you do it. You prove you're capable of keeping a commitment to yourself, because every time you keep even a tiny promise to yourself, you're building trust with the most important person in your life, you. You're showing your word has weight. You're proving you're reliable. That self-trust becomes the foundation for everything else. Without it, you'll keep starting and stopping, wondering why you can't follow through. With it, you become someone who does what they say, which changes everything. Your current habits are either moving you toward your best self or away from it. No neutral ground exists. Every day you're building or eroding. Every choice is investment or withdrawal. And here's the powerful part. You get to decide right now which habits you'll feed and which you'll starve. The person you're trying to become is watching what you do today, hoping you make choices that serve them, counting on you to build the bridge between who you are now and who they are. That bridge isn't built with one grand gesture. It's built with one small habit repeated consistently until it's part of who you are, then another, until slowly you become someone different, someone better, someone genuinely living like the person they imagined they could be. Build your empire one habit at a time. Type this: my habits build my future. The people around you are either lifting you up or dragging you down. You know that feeling around certain people where you suddenly feel smaller, like your ambitions sound ridiculous, your goals feel unrealistic, your dreams seem childish. You start editing yourself, toning down excitement, playing it safe, shrinking to fit their limited view of what's possible. Then there are those other people. After spending time with them, you feel like you could move mountains, like anything's possible, like you remember who you genuinely are underneath the doubt. There's truth people love repeating but rarely apply: you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about what that genuinely means. Look at the 5 people you text most, call regularly, spend time with. Their habits, their mindset, their trajectory, what they believe is possible. Because whether you realize it or not, you're absorbing their attitudes, adopting their beliefs, moving in their direction. Your environment shapes you more powerfully than willpower ever could. You can have steel determination, but if you're constantly surrounded by people who mock your ambitions, question your decisions, celebrate mediocrity, seem threatened by your growth, you're climbing uphill with weights tied to your ankles. Maybe you're strong enough to do it, but why choose the hardest path when you could surround yourself with people who make the climb easier? I'm not suggesting abandon everyone struggling. The point is getting intentional about who has access to your energy, time, vision, dreams. Some people function like anchors. Some like wind in your sails. Anchors hold you in place, keep you stuck with negativity, excuses, commitment to never changing, needing you to stay where you are so they don't feel alone in their stagnation. Wind propels you forward, comes from people who encourage you, challenge you productively, show what's possible through their example, refuse to settle. Look honestly at your life. Who are the anchors? Who drains your energy every time? Who responds to your goals with skepticism instead of support? Who brings up past failures when you try something new? Who celebrates your struggles more than your wins? You know exactly who they are. You've just been making excuses for why they need to stay in your inner circle. Now look at the wind. Who makes you want to level up just from being around them? Who asks about your progress because they genuinely care? Who challenges you in ways that feel like investment? Who celebrates your wins without jealousy? These people exist. They deserve significantly more of your time than they're receiving. Here's where it gets hard. Sometimes the anchors are people you love deeply, family, childhood friends. The guilt hits when you even think about creating distance. But here's truth, loving someone doesn't obligate you to let them limit you. You can care about people from a distance, wish them well without letting them drag you down, be kind without being available for every drama, every attempt to keep you small so they feel less uncomfortable. Epictetus understood this better than most. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. This isn't about being cold or abandoning people. It's about protecting your potential. Your best self needs protection, room to breathe, space to develop. It needs people who believe growth is possible, who are actively working on themselves, who inspire you by how they live. You don't need perfect people. You need people committed to figuring it out, people on their own journey of becoming. And real talk, these people might not be in your current friend group. They might not be convenient. You might need to actively seek them out. Join new communities. Take classes where you're the beginner. Put yourself around people further along the path you're trying to walk. Be the least experienced person in the room sometimes. Embrace the discomfort because that temporary discomfort beats the slow death of staying surrounded by people who keep you stuck. When you intentionally surround yourself with growth-oriented people, something powerful happens. You become that person for someone else. You become the wind in someone else's sails, living proof that change is possible, that growth is real. So get real about where you're investing time and who you're investing it with. Whose opinion carries the most weight? Who do you call for advice? Who do you spend free time with? Are they helping you grow or helping you stay comfortable? You deserve spaces where your dreams don't sound crazy, relationships that add value instead of subtract it, people who see your potential and call it forward instead of feeling threatened by it. Creating that environment isn't selfish. It's essential. It's giving your best self an actual fighting chance to emerge instead of staying buried under other people's limitations. When you fail, and you will, fall forward. Let me be straight with you. You're going to fail. Not maybe, definitely. You'll try things that explode in your face, make decisions that turn out completely wrong, fall on your face in ways that embarrass and humble you. That's not pessimism. That's simply reality. When you attempt anything worth doing, the only question that matters is what you do when failure shows up. You can fail in two directions. Fail backward, let the failure become your identity. Let it confirm every negative belief about yourself. Let it be evidence you shouldn't try, aren't capable, should play it safe. You retreat into smaller versions of yourself, hide, make yourself less visible, less ambitious, less alive. That's failing backward, letting failure win permanently. Or you can fail forward. Look at what went wrong with clear eyes and extract the lesson. Ask, what did this teach me? What do I understand now that I didn't then? How can I use this to improve next time? You don't pretend it doesn't hurt. Don't minimize the disappointment. But you also don't let it stop your momentum. You let it redirect you toward a better path, sharpen your skills, deepen your understanding. You let failure be a stepping stone, not a stopping point. The version of yourself you're trying to become has failed more times than the current you has even attempted anything. Sit with that. The person you admire, want to be, living the life you imagine, they didn't get there avoiding risk. They got there by trying, failing, learning, adjusting, trying again with better information. Every successful person has a collection of failures they don't broadcast. The difference isn't that they avoided failure. It's that they kept moving past failures toward goals. Failure feels personal, like it's making a statement about your worth, intelligence, deservingness. But failure is simply feedback from reality, simply the universe saying, not that way. Adjust your approach. If you can separate your identity from your attempts, if you can see yourself as someone who takes action rather than someone who succeeds or fails, your entire relationship with risk changes. Maybe we need to redefine failure. Right now, you probably think failure is when your attempt doesn't produce the result you wanted. But what if real failure is never attempting at all? What if failure is letting fear control your decisions? What if failure is staying in the exact same place year after year because you're too afraid of looking foolish? By that definition, the only real failure is choosing safety over growth, comfort over possibility. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Think about what that means for your failures. The thing blocking you isn't really blocking you. It's showing you exactly where you need to grow. That failure isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. The obstacle is literally the path forward. When something doesn't work out, your brain activates protection mode, says, "See, I warned you. Let's never do this again. Stay where it's safe." That protective instinct, while useful for physical danger, is exactly what keeps you trapped in a life smaller than you're capable of living. Because your best self isn't built in safety. It's built in discomfort, in challenge, in trying things that might not work, failing at some, learning from all, and continuing forward. You need a different relationship with failure. Not seeking it out or pretending it doesn't sting, but expecting it as part of any meaningful process, seeing it as admission price for growth, where it doesn't shock you into quitting or devastate you into hiding. You see it as information that helps you improve and you keep moving. Watch kids learning to walk. They fall constantly, dozens, maybe hundreds of times. Do they think, "I guess walking isn't for me"? Do they decide crawling is permanent? No. They get up and try again. They don't attach identity to falling. They see falling as part of learning to walk. Eventually, they walk, then run. You need that childhood approach. Try things without turning every outcome into judgment on your existence. Fall and get up without making it profound about your worth. Fail forward, using each failure as education, guidance, proof you're in the arena trying instead of sitting in the stands watching. Every failure you survive makes you more resilient. Every mistake you learn from makes you wiser. Every time you get back up, you're proving something success never could, that you don't quit, that you're committed to becoming someone different. The path to your best self is paved with failures. Everyone is building you into someone capable of handling what comes next. Turn every setback into a comeback. Declare this, "I learn and I rise." Your peace isn't negotiable. Protect it like your life depends on it. You could have everything on your wish list, the career, the money, the relationship, the body, all of it. But if you don't have peace, none of it satisfies you. You'll still wake up empty, still go to bed restless. Peace isn't the prize after checking enough boxes. Peace is the foundation. Without it, everything you build is unstable. With it, even hard days become bearable. Your peace belongs to you, not to circumstances, not to other people, not to past mistakes or future worries. It's yours. You decide what has permission to disturb it and what doesn't. Right now, you're probably letting too many things steal your peace. The news controlling your emotional state. Social media making you feel inadequate. Other people's opinions living rent-free in your head. Mistakes from years ago haunting your present. Worries about things that haven't happened poisoning your today. All of that, it's a choice. Maybe not conscious, but still a choice you're making by default. Protecting your peace means getting ruthlessly intentional about what you allow into your mental and emotional space. Recognizing not every battle needs your participation, not every opinion deserves your response, not every argument needs your involvement, not every negative thought needs your agreement. You guard your inner world with the same vigilance you'd guard your home. Think about protecting physical space. You lock doors, don't let strangers walk through, sit on furniture, eat your food. You maintain boundaries, control access. But your mental space, emotional space, wide open. You let anyone say anything, let every thought run unchecked, let every worry take residence, treat your inner world like it has no boundaries. Then wonder why you feel chaotic, overwhelmed, constantly anxious. Marcus Aurelius discovered something that changed everything. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Your peace doesn't depend on things going your way. It depends on understanding that external chaos doesn't have to create internal chaos unless you allow it. Your best self understands peace isn't something that happens when external conditions align perfectly. Peace is something you actively create and fiercely protect. It's not passive. It's not accidental. Peace is a practice requiring boundaries, willingness to say no, walking away from situations that cost your calm even when it's uncomfortable. This doesn't mean ignoring real problems. Doesn't mean pretending everything's fine when it's falling apart. It means you address what needs attention from a centered place instead of panic. You stop letting every external stimulus hijack your emotions. Start taking full responsibility for your internal state. Your peace connects directly to what you consume, not just food. Media, conversations, content, relationships, environments, information. Everything you take in affects your internal state. If you're constantly consuming content designed to make you angry, anxious, envious, inadequate, you're systematically poisoning your peace. You need to become radically selective. Ask one simple question about everything you consume: does this serve my peace or disturb it? If something disturbs your peace without teaching you anything valuable, without being necessary, without adding real value, eliminate it. Unfollow accounts that make you feel terrible. Stop participating in conversations that go nowhere. Exit situations that only extract without giving back. But protecting peace isn't just keeping things out. It's actively building it. Intentionally creating stillness in your day. Discovering practices that center you: prayer, meditation, nature, walking without your phone, breathing exercises, 5 minutes of silence. Giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. Understanding that taking care of your internal state isn't selfish. It's absolutely necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. Can't help anyone if you're running on empty. Understanding the difference between peace and numbness is crucial. Numbness is shutting down completely, stop feeling anything, checking out because feeling is overwhelming. Peace is different. Peace is being fully present and aware but not controlled by circumstances. Moving through difficulty without being destroyed. Feeling emotions, all of them, without being swept away, maintaining your center in the storm. And here's what protecting peace does. It gives you clarity. When you're at peace, you make significantly better decisions. See situations more accurately. Respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. Access wisdom and best judgment instead of operating from panic and fear. Your best self lives in that space. Best ideas emerge from that calm. Best choices come from that centered place. But when you're constantly disturbed, constantly agitated, constantly letting everything steal your peace, you're operating from your worst self. So right now, make a decision. Your peace is non-negotiable. You'll protect it with the same intensity you'd protect anything precious and irreplaceable because it is precious. It's the environment where your best self grows, the soil where everything good takes root. When you protect it fiercely, honor it completely, refuse to let it be casually taken, everything in your life begins to shift. Nothing is worth losing your peace over. Type this: my peace is my power. The days you don't feel like it are the days that count most. Here's reality. Most days you won't feel like doing what you know you should do. Most mornings you'll wake up tired, not inspired. Have doubts instead of confidence. Wonder if any effort is worth it. Want to hit snooze, skip the workout, postpone the work, wait for a better day, better mood, better circumstances. Those days, especially when everything in you wants to quit, those are the days your best self is either built or abandoned. Enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. Anyone can get excited when something's new. Anyone can feel motivated seeing immediate results. But people who actually transform their lives, they keep showing up long after novelty wears off, long after excitement fades, long after motivation has left. Your feelings are real, valid, but absolutely not reliable. They fluctuate based on sleep, what you ate, who you talked to, what you watched, stress, random thoughts. They shift constantly based on variables you don't control. If you wait to feel motivated before taking action, you'll spend your life waiting. Here's truth about motivation: motivation doesn't create action. Action creates motivation. You don't feel like it, so you force yourself to start anyway. Halfway through you remember why it matters and motivation catches up. This is the fundamental difference between talkers and doers. Talkers wait for the feeling, wait for inspiration, the perfect moment, feeling ready. Doers create the feeling through movement, start before they're ready. Talkers need ideal conditions. Doers work with whatever exists. Talkers generate excuses. Doers generate progress. The difference isn't talent, circumstances, or luck. It's willingness to show up when it's inconvenient and uncomfortable. Think about every commitment you've made to yourself over the years. How many have you kept? How many times did you start strong, full of determination, then slowly drift back because you stopped feeling motivated? Those exact moments where you chose feeling over action, comfort over commitment, that's where the best version of you got left behind. Your best self doesn't need you to feel ready. Your best self needs you to be consistent. Consistency beats intensity every time. The person who works out moderately 3 times weekly for a year will transform their body, while the person going hard for 2 weeks then quitting sees 0 lasting results. The person writing 1 page daily will finish a book, while the person waiting for inspiration never starts. It's not dramatic gestures that change lives. It's the boring, repetitive, unglamorous habit of showing up. This is where discipline becomes your greatest asset. And discipline isn't being harsh, not punishment or forcing yourself through misery. Discipline is keeping promises to yourself even when it's uncomfortable. Honoring your future self by doing what your present self doesn't want to do. The bridge between goals and accomplishment, between vision and reality. Discipline only matters on days when you don't feel like it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Stop waiting for the perfect version of yourself to show up. Stop debating whether you feel ready. Stop arguing with yourself about whether today is the day. Just be the person. Do the thing. Take the action. The feeling will follow, but only if you move first. Accept this truth: you're not going to feel like it most days. Stop waiting for that magical day when everything aligns perfectly and you're overflowing with energy. That day might arrive occasionally, but most days won't be that day. Most days will be ordinary, unremarkable, challenging. Most days you'll be tired or distracted. And most days your best self is forged in the simple decision to do it anyway, show up anyway, take action anyway. Now, there's a distinction between pushing through everything and knowing when rest is needed. I'm not telling you to ignore your body's signals, not telling you to work into burnout. I'm telling you to be brutally honest about the difference between, "I need rest," and, "I just don't feel like it." Rest is strategic, purposeful, serves long-term goals. "I don't feel like it" is just resistance keeping you comfortable, keeping you exactly where you are. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you're building something more valuable than progress toward external goals. You're building unshakable trust with yourself. Proving you're reliable. Demonstrating your word, even promises only to yourself, means something. That self-trust changes everything. When you know you're someone who follows through regardless of feelings, you stop doubting whether you can handle difficult things. You already know you can. You've proven it repeatedly. Days when you don't feel like it separate who you are from who you're becoming. Real transformation happens there. Genuine character gets built because showing up when you're excited doesn't require much character. But showing up when you're exhausted, doubtful, discouraged, when everything says quit, that's when you're forging something real and lasting, when you're becoming genuinely different, fundamentally stronger. Next time you don't feel like doing what you should, remember your feelings are passengers, not the driver. Acknowledge them, feel them, honor them, but don't let them control the wheel. Don't let them make decisions. Let your vision make decisions, your commitment, the promise you made to your future self. Then just start. Take one small step. Do the first tiny thing. Because action creates momentum. Momentum creates energy. And energy creates the motivation you were waiting for. You made it here. Most people wouldn't have. Most would have clicked away, gone back to scrolling, gone back to thinking about change instead of pursuing it. But you stayed. That says something about you. Everything comes down to this: becoming your best self isn't a destination where you finally relax. It's a direction you move in, a choice you make today, tomorrow, the day after. Sometimes you'll make that choice easily, sometimes through gritted teeth, but you keep making it. You're not the same person who started watching. Won't be the same tomorrow. You're constantly becoming. And in that uncomfortable space, that's where all your power lives. You have power to accept where you are without staying there. Power to choose which battles deserve energy. Power to build habits serving your future instead of comfort. Power to surround yourself with people who lift instead of limit. Power to fail forward instead of letting failure define you. Power to protect your peace like oxygen. Power to show up even when everything says stay still. The best version of you isn't some perfect person who never struggles. Just someone who doesn't quit when struggle intensifies, someone who keeps moving forward. And that person already exists inside you. Not as distant possibility but as current reality waiting for you to give it space to emerge. Today is that space. This moment is that permission. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for the right time. This moment, messy and imperfect as it is, This is where transformation begins, with everything you are and everything you're not yet. If this connected with you, hit that like button, comment, and tell me which part hit hardest. Share this with someone stuck, struggling, someone who needs a reminder they're capable of more. Subscribe because we're building a community refusing to settle for less than what they're capable of becoming. Your best self isn't waiting in the future. Your best self is being built right now with the next decision you make. So go decide. Become.